Hi, and welcome to my video all about understanding the differences between SS styles in Romancing Saga Reuniverse. This video is being created for new players to help them quickly evaluate SS styles in their roster to decide who they might want to focus on. A large part of the reason why I wanted to make this video is that as a new player, you may find yourself quickly amassing a lot of different SS styles. This, in my mind, separates Romancing Saga a little bit from other gacha games. Because SS styles are the rarest kind of style in this game, you would expect them to be, well, rare. But in practice, that's not really the case. The game gives you a ton of platinum summon tickets, which you can use here to summon SS styles, as well as other lower ranks. And you get so many of these that you're likely to end up with a lot of different SS styles relatively early on. And this is regardless of whether or not you spend gems on banners. So I'm going to give a couple of very high-level tips for determining who you might want to focus on. If you're looking for more in-depth videos on how to do team comps or how to compare one style to another one specifically, that's not really the subject of this video. It might be in a video I make later on, so stay tuned. So diving into it, the first thing I want to point out, the first major difference between SS styles I want to point out is I want to separate them into two categories. The first is the category that I'm going to call Platinum or normal summons. Included with this, we could also lump in welfare units, which you can earn from story stages or from currency, from events, as well as Spiral Corridor styles as well that you can get from Spiral Corridor tickets, which are free to earn in-game. So that's the one category. The other category I want to talk about are Ultra Deluxe, limited time or seasonal units. The major thing tying these together are that they're only available during the period that their banners are up, which is generally just a few weeks. The other point to understand here is that if you do miss a limited time banner, they do rerun periodically at a later date. So this one we're looking at here is an example of a limited time banner. Once this banner disappears, these three units will not be able to be summoned. And why am I pointing out the difference between these two categories? Well, the first point, and this is probably the most important point you should take out of this video, is never ever spend gems on the platinum banner. The reason, well, there's two reasons for this. One is you get plenty of platinum tickets to summon for free with, such that you really never need to spend gems to be able to summon from this pool. And the other reason is that the units that are in this pool, this platinum pool, are generally speaking of a lower quality than ultra deluxe or seasonal styles. So if we look at the pool of characters or styles that you can summon from a banner and we try and average their power level, the average power level from this platinum banner is going to be less than it is for the limited time banners. So that's why I say don't ever spend gems here. That means only spend gems on these limited time banners, such as this one for Katarina and Ferdinand, or Julian, or Matriarch, etc. And when it comes to evaluating your SS styles, this is the first rule of thumb you can apply: is which of my SS styles are ultra deluxe or limited time units, and which of them are always available platinum or welfare styles. Because if you have banner units, ultra deluxe banner units especially, you can generally bet that they're going to have higher stat multipliers, better abilities, and are probably worth focusing on first of all, as a rule of thumb. Again, this is disregarding team composition and things like that. The second rule of thumb I want to bring up has to do with power creep. Romancing Saga has power creep, like many games, and this probably doesn't need explaining, but that basically means that older styles get eclipsed in power by newer styles. And I can show you a dual example of these two rules that I'm describing here. If I go to Joe is a new limited time unit as of the time of making this video, which means she is benefiting from the power creep in this game. One of the ways we can see that is if we look at her style multipliers. She has an intelligence multiplier of 101%. I can almost guarantee you that none of the platinum styles in the game right now have an intelligence multiplier that's this high. That's not only an indication of power creep because she's a brand new unit, but it's also a mark of the fact that she's one of these ultra deluxe limited time units that's never going to be part of the platinum banner. The other thing we can look at are their abilities. Now on Joe, I want to focus on this Fired Up 5 ability here. And I'm focusing on this because this is very easy to compare to other units that have the Fired Up ability. Notice what it does. It increases the damage of attacks. Very large effect. And notice that it's Fired Up 5. Again, Roman numeral 5. Now if I come here to Strife, Strife is not an ultra deluxe unit. He's a normal platinum summon, and he's also a welfare unit, at least if you were playing during the anniversary, because you could purchase this style with freely earned currency. Now if we look at his intelligence multiplier, now he's not level 50 unlike Joe, so it's going to be a little bit lower because of that. But also, it's only 66%, so I can tell you right now, this is never going to get to 101%, even if I do level him to 50. So right there, even though intelligence is his main stat, it's not going to be as good as the power crept Ultra Deluxe Joe. And now let's look at his abilities. He also has Fired Up, but his is only level 4. This is a straight downgrade from Fired Up 5 that's on Joe. So again, just further evidence of the difference between power creep, because this is an older unit, and exclusivity in the form of Ultra Deluxe or seasonal units, because Joe is Ultra Deluxe. So to quickly recap, if you have summoned, say, a bunch of SS units using platinum tickets, and maybe you've summoned some units from limited time banners using your gems, if you're trying to decide who to focus on or to at least experiment with right off the bat, I'd recommend focusing on the banner units first of all. So the Ultra Deluxe units, and actually a note about the banner units. Let me go back to the platinum banner here. When you are summoning from the platinum banner, my experience has been that the units that are featured here on the banner, so like Aisha, Albert, Xenon, and whatnot, these are generally going to be some of the best units you can get out of this banner. So maybe like a rule of thumb number 3 is if you're trying to evaluate your platinum summon pulls, odds are that the ones featured here, which are going to be the newest ones, so really this is just a factor of power creep, the ones featured here are going to be some of the best. In my case, Xenon I use quite a lot. He's very good. Aisha I use because I don't have any great slash users, and she's pretty solid. She's better than any of the welfare slash users I have, so yeah. So if you have banner units, whether they're Ultra Deluxe or featured units in the Platinum banner, Focus on those ones first. And secondly, try and focus on newer units over older ones because there is such a thing as power creep. It not only affects stats, but also the abilities for characters. So using those two rules of thumb, you can pretty quickly narrow down your scope of who to focus on and hopefully get started with building your teams and experimenting. As a closing note, I want to point out that you don't have to use the best units in the game. You don't have to use the newest units in the game. One of the great things about this game is that you can really use the units you like so long as you put in the time to grind up their stats, to make them powerful enough to do the content. So, you know, if you really like the welfaring units you pull, for example, go right ahead and use them. Do not feel as if you need to adhere to whatever's currently popular in the meta at this time. So yeah, I'm going to end with that. And again, I hope this helps new players in deciding which SS styles to focus on. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.